Pat, thank you so much for joining us for Thursday on Rock 95.5. We're pumped to have you, man.
Yeah, good. Happy to be here.
Pat, before we get into all of the fun and serious stuff, we need to learn more about you. And the most important detail would be your first ever alcoholic beverage. Tell me the beverage, tell me the story.
If I'm thinking correctly, I believe it was a gin and Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Uh, I believe supplied by some, bad kids on the tracks, something like that. You know how the tracks are always
those
the
tracks.
place where, you go to
There's a good
find,
side and a bad side of them, I've
yeah,
heard.
all the time.
Yeah. So, okay, gin and Mountain Dew. Oh my God, that sounds disgusting. Did you survive? Did it all stay down?
I survived. Yeah, it wasn't a ton. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and
I mean, you
I
can
don't
only
know.
choke down so much gin and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, I didn't know how anything should taste. It was like whatever. I don't know.
All you knew was this was wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a bit about right B cider. I love a I love a pun. And everything you guys are going to be doing at the festival event for cystic fibrosis.
Yeah, so Right B Cider is it's a cider company. We're in Hermosa, just west of Logan Square. It's started by my friends Charlie and Katie. Charlie is a guy I grew up with. We were friends long before I joined the company. Um, Pretty much all of our lives. He was a beer brewer, and he was trying to impress Katie,
Oh,
who did not drink beer.
oh.
So he decided to make her a cider. And she was kind of thinking, "Oh, how am I going to tell this guy that this drink sucks?" Um, and she drank it. He was very proud of it, and it turns out that she liked it a lot, enough that they fell in love, got married, and usually I like to say this is their firstborn child. Now they have two humans. Um, so yeah, right B cider, like you mentioned, is a pun. It's right B cider, like the drink, but also like my shirt says, this is great radio.
Right
Right
beside
beside
her.
her. So yeah,
That is shockingly romantic. I really wasn't expecting to swoon on this Thursday interview today, and yet here I am swooning. So tell me all about the festival event for cystic fibrosis. We love
yeah,
drinking and helping good causes.
yeah. Festival has been around for, geez, a long time now. Uh, at least 10 years. I'm not even sure how long at this point, but I've been there for most of them, involved at various stages at different levels. But now that I am in the industry, I'm a little bit more involved. Um, we basically get a lot of the best breweries in Chicago, and they come out and serve as many 3 ounce tasters as you're able to put down, I guess, in that time. And you feel really guilt free about drinking too, because it's all going to help the CF Foundation.
That's amazing. I always I don't know if this is your experience at these events, but it's always somewhat funny to me because everyone's having such a good time. You go, you drink, there's some yummy food, you're socializing, you're like, this is a party. And then it's like, wait, this is also very serious.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you go
So
about balancing that?
that's a good question because I mean the way to balance it is there's going to be a time during the event where you're going to be able to help out with some more donations, whether it be through the silent auction or just if you have enough tasters that you're feeling a lot more generous at that point. But we'll have some speakers up there that are going to talk about cystic fibrosis and living with it, and the advancements that have been made throughout the years. I've done that in the past. I don't know if we had touched on this, but I have cystic fibrosis myself.
Mhm.
So my involvement is, um, even if I didn't have CF, I'd still be at this event probably because
Oh, sure.
it's a really great one. But I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life with CF. For people who are listening that aren't familiar, it's a genetic disease that affects the respiratory and digestive systems. And there was a time in my life where I was looking at a lung transplant, but through these new uh, drug developments that have been made. There have been some amazing, amazing new drugs that literally saved my life to the
Wow.
point where now I do not need a lung transplant.
Wow. That's
And
huge.
yeah, it's basically it's nothing short of miraculous what we've been able to do with new drug therapies.
Wow, that's amazing. And again, we love having excuses to drink and also benefit society. Can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me about uh your journey, I guess, getting to Festival, because obviously you have CF. You're living with this. How do you hear about it? How do you get involved?
Well, my journey to Festival was actually back in college. I was actually working as an intern for the CF Foundation. Uh, um, and the person who I was working for, this just happened to be one of the events that she was working on. And once I had graduated from college, I was still involved in the committee in you know different years, and then you start bringing your friends out, and they start having a great time at it, and then they invite their friends, and then they invite their friends, and it just the event just kind of grew to be one of the best beer events in Chicago.
I love that because that makes it so much more than just an event, right? It's a community. You
Yeah,
formed a community. I mean, one that gradually grows. That is family expanding. And what a beautiful thing that we can all get drunk at, you know?
exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Well, is there anything else you want to put out into the ether, Pat?
I'd say come visit our tap room at Right B Cider. It's at 1830 North Costner in a very old historic building. It used to be actually the factory where all the Schwinn bikes were made in Chicago up until
Oh,
the 80s. I know we don't have that entire space. We just have a little piece of it.
I like that
Uh,
you guys went for the opposite of cardio, like from bike riding to beer drinking. Like I'm so here for that.
yeah, exactly. Thursday nights we do Berlin style ping pong, which so we move a few tables out of our tap room. We bring a ping pong table in, and if you can imagine, it's like musical chairs around a ping pong table. No chairs, just everybody standing around, and you hit it. After you hit the ball, you start moving along. So everybody's walking around the table, just hitting the ball back and forth. And if you get it out, then you're out. And then when it gets down to about four people, they're sprinting around the table. And it gets a lot of fun. And we just basically, there's not a ton of structure around the way, it's like this time, this time, this time. It's once we have enough people to play, we start playing. And then when we're ready to start another game, we start another game.
Oh
But it's a
my
lot of
God, what a
fun.
genius drinking game. That's amazing. I can only
Yeah,
imagine the roasting that goes on during that
there's a good
game.
amount of roasting. Also, there's a few people that prefer to play with a drink in their hand too. That's not required, but some people do.
Those are the advanced people, the pros. Well, that's awesome. Amazing. I swooned. I got a little teary. This was a very great Thursday interview, Pat. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you're welcome. Yeah, and come to Festival Friday, September 30th at the Donk House in Lincoln Square.
Hell yeah, this Friday. Let's do it.